Hello, it's Darrenetic talking, presenting you a new episode of Sound Design with Darrenetic. I got a request if I could do a tutorial about how to make big and fat Bigroom Synths, and yeah, so I'm gonna make this tutorial now. And as usual, we will work with the Sylenth1, and a really remarkable sound in Bigroom is a supersaw sound, and for that sound we need the saw waveform with 8 voices to make it really wide and fat, and set this to 16, so we have 128 voices. That's really much sounding fat, and we don't need a retrick button, so disable it and turn the detune up around 4, and that's the sound we have now. This is already the basic supersaw sound. We can add a reverb around 35%, and as I'm a bit lazy, I won't create the Bigroom breakdown melody now, because this will take too much time. So I will just use a MIDI file, and I found a really good one in this sample pack, Carafix, Voltaire and Corvo sample pack volume 1. It's a melody by Corvo, and it's really nice. That's how it sounds. Yeah, Bigroom is most of the time with 128 BPM, that's why I set it to 128 BPM. And if we have a look on this MIDI file, we have a top melody between G5 and G6, and just some chords below it, and this sounds really nice, as you heard it. So thanks for that MIDI file, I appreciate it. And now I want to add a sub-layer under the normal supersaw sound. It's just a supersaw with less reverb, only around 20%. Oh, I got exactly 20%, and we transpose it 1 octave down and add a low pass filter, because we don't need all the top frequencies of the supersaw, and we will make the bass a bit louder to make it more present, and turn the treble down, because we have enough treble in the normal supersaw sound. So yeah, there's a trick. If you have more than one layer, one plugin playing the same melody, then you can simply add the Fruity Layer plugin. If you route several plugins to this plugin, to the Fruity Layer plugin, all the notes played in the layer plugin will be also played to the with the plugins routed to the layer plugin. It's very useful if you have around 5 or 6 layers and you don't want to copy and paste the melodies all the time. Yeah, so let's first route the two Sylenth1 plugin instances to it. Oh my crap. Simply right click on this box here and click Set Children, and now all the notes played with the Fruity Layer plugin will be also played with the two Sylenth 1 layers. You hear the sublayer makes a difference. And yes, I would now like to add build a Bigroom breakdown around 30 seconds. Yeah, so we need this pattern 4 times to get 16 bars and 30 seconds. And yes, there's a trick how to make it more interesting and giving more tension to it and make kind of a climax. It has to do with the amp envelope. If you turn the decay completely up, it works similar to the sustain, and if you turn it down, it's like a plug. So if we simply make an envelope for it, we can go from a plug sound to a full supersaw sound, and we will do that with both channels. And yeah, you will now hear what I mean. We start with a plug sound and then we go over to the full supersaw sound. Let's go. Yeah, and the second way to make it more interesting is with a low pass filter or a cutoff. If we start with a low cutoff amount and then we increase it over the half of this breakdown, it isn't working. Why? Oh, I haven't inserted the plugins to the channel. That's a bit newbie. Sorry for that. So now. Yeah, that's better. So now I would like to add a brighter snare after the half of the breakdown. And after the brighter snare we have some claps, and for that Bigroom breakdown I really like to use the Kashmir clap 1, the classic clap, or in general all classic claps are good for it. And if you want to make the supersaw more fat, simply add the sound godizer. Not too much. If you add too much, it gets a bit distorted. That's a good amount, and you hear it, it's really fat. And yeah, the only thing I would like to add now is a simple uplifter. I have one in my sample pack Stereonetic Sample Collection Volume 1. There's a video with the download link if you want it. And the first uplifter goes over 8 bars and it's really nice. So let's use it. And that's how it sounds. And after this 30 seconds, you could directly add the build up to before the drop comes. Yeah, so the tutorial is now over. I would like to ask you if you could excuse my faults. It was a bit confusing for me and for you. I hope you understand it. Yeah, so I will save the FLP now, and you will get it for free, downloadable on Mediafire. Yeah, so I wish you a nice day. Goodbye.